to be looking at, and going over the past CPI events that have happened this week. As all you know, this week has been very, very big in terms of the crypto scene, and I'll be going over pretty much everything that you need to know and looking at the possibility of a bullish or a bearish September. So if you're new here, please make sure you like and subscribe, and if you're not, then just make sure you do it as well. But yeah, first up, I want to take a look at the S&P 500. Okay, so you can see what is happening here. So why do we look at the S&P 500? It's because it tells us what the stocks are doing in terms of 500 stocks of the US market. Okay, so Bitcoin and all the other crypto assets correlate to this, right? So we need to analyze this graph in order for us to know where the market's going. And you can see that when looking at this, we've been in a significant downtrend, right? You can see over here, we've touched this zone at the top here 4 times, and recently we've just broken down. And what I was looking at is this trend line this is on the daily chart. So this trend line over here, you can see that we are currently retesting this zone and we actually broke down. So the next zone for the S&P 500 would be this support level over here at the 3575 zone. That would be the next zone. And then what I'll be looking at is other situations where we could possibly go long here on the crypto markets, but at the moment it is looking very short, and there is a reason for that. So looking at Twitter over here, so I found this tweet the other day, well, actually this morning, and what is happening now is 4 trillion options were due to expire today on the S&P 500. 4 trillion, if you think about that in dollars terms, it's a large amount of money. So that's obviously why it's so volatile today. And you can see that the S&P 500, obviously those options were obviously sell options, and you can see that the price has been coming down. So this was very interesting to look at, and you can see that it's obviously taking a massive toll on the S&P 500 and also the crypto market. So I will go over Bitcoin and all of that now. I just wanted to take a look at this, and obviously we can see that we looking for this zone over here. So at the moment we have broken this trend line. We need this daily close to close below here, but it is looking very bearish, and that's obviously bearish for crypto. So I want to take a look at the dollar index. So what is the dollar index? Why is it significant? It is the reason why we look at this as well is because it's inversely proportional. Okay, so whatever happens to the dollar index, the opposite kind of happens to Bitcoin. But obviously, due to FTX, Genesis, Luna, and all of these crashes and inflation within the current year, Bitcoin has kind of slid away from the dollar in terms of how they correlate to one another. But we still have to take a look at it, and you can see that this zone over here that I was looking at has been broken down, and it's currently retesting this support level. And if we get a successful rejection of this zone that it's currently retesting, then we can see prices come back down to the 101 level. But if that doesn't happen, then we can see some type of retracement for the dollar, which will be very bad for the crypto markets, because obviously this affects it a lot. So I wanted to just show you why the Bitcoin market is currently like this. So obviously it's because of the 4 trillion at stake. The options were due to expire, so that was the one catalyst. As obviously there was a lot more sell orders, and that's a large amount of options to expire in one day. So this is obviously very important, and that's obviously why we're getting that drop down. And then also looking at, so this week we had the CPI data, right? And that was on Tuesday, and we got a 7.1, so it was better than expected. So the forecast was 7.3, and we got a 7.1. So then when looking at the Bitcoin chart, you can see that when that came out, we had that massive rally, okay? So we had this massive push up past this resistance here. We pushed up to this resistance zone, and then FOMC meeting came out the next day on the 14th, and that was at 9 p.m. SA time, and that obviously was a catalyst to push prices down. So they currently are only going to rise rates by 50 basis points, But obviously, if it was 25, then we would have maybe passed through this level for Bitcoin. But because this was a level of resistance slash support, you can see over here, I'll be going over these levels more in depth now, but you can see that this level over here was a massive level for it to break, and because we had news on this day, we obviously got that push down. So at the moment, it's not looking good for Bitcoin. Sorry about that, it's not looking good, and I wanted to highlight this zone that I've been looking at in the last live. You can see we are currently still trading above this trend line that I've been looking at. Okay, so this trend line, why is it important? It's important because every time we've come up to this trend line at the bottom here, we have found support, right? So we found support over here, over here, over here, and actually over here. So what we need to look at now is if price break and look at is definitely this 12,000 zone, because that's the next level of support. So this 12,000 zone can definitely be hit, and we can't rule it out at all, because when you're looking at this chart, we got to push up from this level. There was on the weekly, there was this bullish divergence that I spoke about. So you can see that the momentum was increasing and the price is decreasing. So that's obviously why the price pushed up. But looking at this on the weekly here, you can see that I've drawn this trend line at the bottom here on the RSI, and you can see that over here we've touched it over here once, twice, 3 times, and if we get a rejection from here now, then we can see price come back down. But if we manage to break through this zone here on the trend line on the RSI, then so this is very important. So my levels would be that we need to break this 15,500 level in order for us to turn bearish to the bottom side. This is on a higher time frame, and then obviously now we are looking a bit. The weekly is looking a bit dull, and if we close like this, you can see that there's a lot of sellers trying to push the price down. So in order for us to be bullish, what I see is that we need price to come up to this zone and get a closure above here, and then start looking like we might get a move to the upside. But at the moment, we can't see much, but on the smaller time frames, there's definitely a lot more to be seen. So I wanted to go over the Bitcoin chart here, actually the Bitcoin dominance. This is very important. So what is happening here that's very important to look at is you can see all the altcoins. Okay, I'm going to go over the few coins over here. You can see how much they're bleeding today. So when the Bitcoin dominance chart starts to increase, it means that all these other coins are losing strength in the market, and that's obviously why all these coins are dropping so hard. But if the Bitcoin dominance was actually going down, these altcoins wouldn't be so red today, and that's a massive catalyst. You can see in the last couple weeks, so these are daily candles, right? So since the 27th November, Bitcoin dominance has gone up 4.25%. So it's obviously good for Bitcoin, but these other altcoins are starting to lose strength, and that's putting a lot of pressure on holding altcoins at the moment, because if this starts to keep on rallying back up to this zone, and let's just say that the Bitcoin dominance breaks through the zone, then we're looking bullish, and that would obviously be terrible for the altcoins. So you need to watch out. If you're holding altcoins, just watch out, because this is obviously not a good sign for holding altcoins at the moment, because when you get a pump like this and there's no retracement. So what I do think is we might get this push up and looking for further upside, because you can see whenever we close above this zone here, we tend to go up. We closed below here, we tend to go down. Closed above, tend to go up. So the probability of us of this closing above here and then would be higher to look at higher targets. But if we get rejected off here, then we can look for altcoins to get back into. But yeah, so the Bitcoin dominance is showing a lot of strength, which is good for Bitcoin, but it's not good for the altcoins. And then I wanted to look at on a smaller time frame on what's happening with Bitcoin. Okay, so let me just go over here. So you can see here we were in this ascending triangle, right? And we're making these continuous higher highs and higher lows. So over here I was highlighting this out, in the last one. So you can see here we've been making higher highs and higher lows, and we created a new higher high the other day from the CPI news. And then now what is happening, we are breaking down this important zone that has been retested multiple times, and if we get a closure in 50 minutes, then this is looking very bearish, because getting a closure below the zone indicates that we're definitely going to see price come down, because all you have to do is look at, okay, so when we get a closure here below the zone, what happens? We tend to come down to what zone? To this area, okay? Got a closure below here, came down. Got a closure below here, came down. So if we get this closure below, then we can be looking for potential shorts, because we'll get a retest and then look for shorts at this 17,270 zone. So at the moment, this is looking very bearish, and you can see that this trend line over here that has been touched multiple times is getting broken. So it is looking very bearish for Bitcoin at the moment, and obviously I think it's to do with this, and obviously the Binance FUD that's been happening. Obviously there's a lot of rumors that we don't know that are true, but yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. There's a lot of false news. But I wanted to go over, before I go over the other charts, you can just see here, so people are still withdrawing from exchanges. So you can see that exchange balance, all exchanges, so you can see that this line over here, the bottom line, is showing that it is currently going down. So this is very good for long-term holders, because if you think about it, when you invest your money into a coin, and you're putting it into a cold wallet or storage, it means that you want to hold it for more than a certain period of time. So in the long term for Bitcoin and the crypto market, I'm very bullish, sorry. I'm very bullish on the long term, but in the short term, I do see signs of, price coming down to certain levels, but this is very bullish in the long term. But on the short term, it's very bearish because of all this CPI news that came out. Obviously, it was good. It's a step in the right direction, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna push up the market, because obviously the Fed is still trying. They're still gonna raise by 0.50 basis points. So it's still quite a lot, and that's obviously also a catalyst for why the price has been dumping. So I mean, Bitcoin needs, if it doesn't hold this level, then it's definitely going to carry on going down. You can see the volume spike over here is not good. And when looking at this, actually, so if you draw, you get your fixed range volume profile. So I like to use this. It shows you pretty much where the volume has been traded. Okay, so you can see here. So you draw it from your range, so at the range over here to this range. And you can see that this is called the POC, so it's the point of control, okay? So this is where the most volume in this range has been traded. So what I expect is price, if it breaks this level here, then we can definitely see price come back down to the 16,400 level. And that's very valid, because we are currently breaking this value area high. So that's the next amount of volume that has been traded. So a lot of volume has been traded over here, and you can see that we've actually broken it. So, it is looking very bearish for Bitcoin. I'm going to go over Ethereum and a few other coins now, but in the short term, we do look like it's going to go down very much. So we have 46 minutes until this candle closes, and if it closes like this, then there will definitely be some type of retracement to this zone, and then can be looking for shorts to go down. But yeah, this is a very important zone to break. So I just want to look at, let's look at Ethereum. So what I was looking at here, you can see that there's a lot of levels that I was looking at, because there's a lot of ranges with Ethereum. So at the moment, this is not looking good, because you can see that we were in this uptrend, right, on the 4 hour. You can see over here, we're creating these higher highs and higher lows. And then at the moment, what is happening now? We're changing structure. So this is a break of structure over here. So that means that we should be looking for shorts now if it closes like this, because this was the lowest, the previous low, and because we're breaking that low in an uptrend, it's changing the direction of where price is meant to go. So, and this level over here, if we get the fixed range volume profile, you can just see over here where we're working with. Yeah, so you can see that there's a lot of volume traded at this area over here, and we lost that area. And then the point of control was over here. We lost that currently within the last 4 hours, and at the moment, if we lose this zone over here, we can see price coming down to this area. So Ethereum is looking very bad. It's looking worse than Bitcoin, and that's obviously due to that Bitcoin dominance. I mean, this is ripping to the upside. So you know, this is obviously not good for the altcoins like Ethereum, because this means that Ethereum can bleed harder, and look at it, it's bleeding a lot, and you can see the volume spike at the bottom. So obviously that is the catalyst that's been pushing it down. So I just wanted to show you guys this. So I posted this on my Twitter the other day. So this is the dollar impact on the crypto market. So you can see that the Celsius and three arrows capital was 33 billion. You can see that the realized profits of the crypto, so this is like the loss. So you can see it was 33 billion, right? And so the Terra one was 20.5 billion, and Celsius and Three Arrows Capital was 33 billion, so obviously a lot more, and the FTX was only 9 billion. So you can see that it is slowing down, but this is obviously like what has been happening this whole year, and obviously putting this with inflation and everything that else is happening, the only sign is to go down from here, and that is what it's looking like. So also with Binance and all the rumors, you know, we do have to look at certain other indicators for us to go up. So I also wanted to take a look at this before I go over another chart. So you know, Donald Trump in 2021 was actually speaking about how he hates crypto and all of that. So I just wanted to show you this video.
About First Lady, they really.
What do you think about crypto? Because you know, New York and Miami is really getting cryptocurrency into their financial system.
Well, I never loved it because I like to have the dollar. I think the currency should be the dollar. So I was never a big fan, but it's building up bigger and bigger, and nobody's doing anything about it. And it's I know it so well. Look, I want a currency called the dollar. I don't want to have all these others, and that could be an explosion someday, like the likes of which we've never seen. It'll make the big tech explosion look like baby stuff. I think it's a very dangerous thing.
So I mean, that was in 2021, okay? So and then so it says Donald Trump in 2021, crypto is dangerous, it can be explosion like we've never seen before. Donald Trump in 2022, I'm doing my first official NFT collection. So you know, it just shows like your opinion can change a lot, and especially for Donald Trump, he hated it, and he actually does have his own NFT collection. A lot of people are saying that it's fake, but you guys must watch this thread. It's a bit long. I won't be showing it on here. Some people are saying that AI might have generated Donald Trump's actual speaking and his interview regarding this. So, I mean, it's quite interesting. This is just nice, something to look at. And then over here, I wanted to go over, so over the last 365 days, a total of 213 billion in realized loss has been locked in by Bitcoin. So you can see over here, this is pretty much the most loss we've ever had in terms of a bear market. So you can see in 2018, 2019, that bear market, there was only a minus 56 billion losses, but now we are currently at a minus 213 losses, which is very, very insane. So it's obviously because there's a lot more people investing, so the losses will be more. Makes sense. But I mean, the long run, if people are holding coins, it's an, you know, you don't have to really worry, because you're not going to be selling off your assets at this current time. So this was quite interesting to look at. And then also just going back here, so obviously at the markets, we're looking at ETH. So my thoughts on ETH would be, you know, a price to come back up to this zone and then look for shorts So I'll be looking for a short saying like this, back down to this zone, because we broke this key level here, and this key level was held multiple times over here. And what happens when price breaks down into this level? So you always have to look at that. So you're looking from left to right, and you're saying, okay, prices has come down to this zone, and if it breaks below, we tend to come down to the next zone. Broke below, came down to this zone. Broke above, came up to this zone. Okay, this was a fake out, but at the moment you can see that we are breaking below. So I'll be looking for a potential short opportunity for Ethereum, definitely, because of the fact that we're getting this breakdown, and buyers will start to step into, try to push us back to this support zone, and there might be a long wick, and then that's when I'll go in for a short position. But yeah, Ethereum's not looking good. The whole crypto market has just been bleeding out today. And I just wanted to go over Matic. So this was quite a chart that I was looking at. So you can see that Matic on the daily chart, we gained the strength at the 1.22 area, okay? So that was our resistance zone that we've been looking at, right? And our support zone that we came down to, which was the 2021 low over here, and that's where we're drawing our trend line from. And you can see that when drawing this line, we actually broken down. We broke through the zone at the moment, and this on the daily. And if this candle closes like this, then this is looking very bad for Matic. And because Matic, thing with Matic, it moves a lot, okay? It's one of those coins that can go up 12%, but it can also go down 12%. So to catch a move for Matic, it's a nice one to do, but I do think that we are going to get a push to the downside for Matic as well. And the next area to look at would be around about this zone over here. So this zone would be the next zone to look at, definitely, because this is what has happened in the past. We have broken down the zone, we come down to this zone. Broke down here, came down here. We broke down here, we came down to this zone. So it's looking at the probabilities of what is happening. So when we break certain zones, we come down to another area of significant support or resistance. So you can see the next zone that we can come to is this price level over here. I can draw out a where's this tool? Yeah, price level. So it'll be 0.76, and that would be a big percent gain, because yeah, it's around about 10%. So Matic's looking very bad. It broke that key level over here, that trend line. So at the moment, there's a lot of charts. What else? XRP I was looking at as well. So XRP is looking very, very bad as well. The other day I was looking for a potential setup. Over here you can see that this trend line at the top that I was drawing out, we have touched it multiple times, and I was waiting for a closure above here, but we never got it, so there was no confirmations. But at the moment we are currently breaking the support zone, which has been the support for since the 11th of November. So this zone over here, I mean, because it broke down so easily, the chances of it coming back down to this 0.32 zone is very likely. And obviously with the whole other markets dropping down, XRP looks like it might bleed as hard as the other markets. So yeah, crypto is looking very, very bleak today. A potential setup for XRP would be we're probably going to get this closure here, look for a retracement back up to this zone, and looking short. That's what I'll be doing. So I'll be looking for shorts for XRP if it comes back up to this zone over here, and it'll be more of a swing trade, more of a long-term play-out trade, because we are losing this key zone. This key zone is the most important zone within this range. So this whole range, if I bring out the fixed range volume profile, we can see that this zone over here, let's just see where, yeah, so you can see that this zone, so this, I actually thought it would be this zone over here, but obviously at the top here, this was a majority of where shorts are being placed. and that's obviously why it's been pushing up. And then bars, you can see that there's quite a lot of volume at this area that I've highlighted. So if we lose this value area low over here, which is where the next volume has been traded, then this setup could definitely be valid for shorts. So I'll be looking for shorts for XRP definitely, and this is where I'll be looking for it. It's a nice risk to reward, and it will be a long-term trade because of the fact that it is the weekend this morning, tomorrow, so there won't be a lot of volume, but next week we'll have to wait and see. But we have to wait for price to retrace back up to this zone and then look for potential opportunities there. And then looking at Chainlink. Chainlink's also very, very interesting to look at. So let me just take this away. So what I'll be looking at here, we already lost this key zone over here. You can see that there's a large amount of liquidity sitting at these areas, and obviously we got that breakdown now because of everything's the Bitcoin dominance is actually pumping. So I'll be looking for long setups for this, because what I mean by that is I'll be looking for a trade back up to this zone. So a long position from this area over here back up to this zone, and probably a stop loss below there, because Chainlink is looking like there's a bit of imbalance over here, and it looks like it might fill this range at the bottom and wick into this level. So I'll be looking for long setups for here. Shorts, we're at a key level now, this zone over here. So this zone at the moment is finding some type of support. You can see that there is some type of support over here, and a bit of resistance here. So we might even get a bounce back up to this zone here. But if this candle breaks below here, then it's definitely going to look more to the downside. That's just my opinion that I'm seeing. But yeah, longs I would be valid for longs over here, and maybe if price comes back up to this zone, I'll be looking for shorts at the top of this zone here. So I'll be looking for shorts over here, back down to this zone. So it's like two plays in one, because you're just trading this range. So I could have caught that short there, but the thing is I wanted price to close properly below this zone, and it did, but I missed it. So looking for this for Link, and I wanted to go over the USDT dominance as well. So this is also why the market's been pumping so hard. So you can see the USD dominance. Okay, so why do we look at this? We look at this because when you're looking at BTC, so I'm just going to extend this, you can see that BTC USDT, right? So it's comparing an asset to another asset, and whatever happens to one of the assets, so let's say the USDT, the opposite will happen to Bitcoin. So you can see, if that makes sense, because if I explain that right, but basically what that means is whenever the USDT dominance pumps, the markets, the crypto market tends to drop, and you can see that this has actually been in an uptrend. Looking on the daily, you can see that we had this push up here. Over here, we've been pushing up very nicely, and looking like it might push up more. And 3 green candles in a row. We didn't. What I was thinking about. This was on Tuesday, when the CPI data came in and it was looking very bullish, and everyone was getting excited and whatever. We didn't close below the zone. So because we didn't close below here, then there's no indication of us coming back down, and that is obviously what's happening. And because we got a bullish closure for the next day, we actually looking to go up. So overall, December is looking quite bearish in my opinion, because there's a lot of things that have affected, obviously inflation, FTX, pretty much everything that's been happening in the market, and then now the USDT dominance. The S&P 500 is at a very crucial level. It has broken that level, broken this level to the downside. So this is an indication that it's going to come down to this zone as well. So the dollar is also looking like it might retrace up. So all the signs are indicating that the crypto market is actually getting a push to the downside again. And you know, when looking at this level here for Bitcoin, we are currently, sorry about that, we are currently need to hold this level, and if we don't, then we're definitely looking for further potential moves to the downside. But yeah, does anyone have any questions or any other charts that that you want me to go through? I can look at any charts that you guys suggest. It's up to you. And yeah, just let me know if you want me to go over any other charts, because yeah, I want to help you guys learn, and you know, looking at charts from your perspective and drawing them out might help you understand things more. But also for Bitcoin now, what I was looking at for Ethereum is that retest trade, right? So Bitcoin could also, I'll be waiting for a retest up here and then looking for shorts. That would be definitely valid. So Bitcoin would definitely looking for something like this, and probably down to this area of support over here. But if it breaks that level, then it could be down to the 16,126. So everything's bleeding out today. And I hope you guys have enjoyed the session. I've gone over pretty much everything that's been happening throughout this week. Let me just see if we have any news next week. Let's just go to Monday, nothing. Tuesday we don't have much. On Wednesday we have consumer confidence. So obviously if the actual is greater than the forecast, then it's good for the currency. So obviously we would want this to be lower, because then it would send the crypto market up. So that will be quite big on Wednesday. I think Wednesday is pretty much the only news. Yeah. Thursday we have a bit of USD news, final GDP, unemployment claims. That's also quite big. And yeah, so it's also, yeah, the next week's also very big. So that would also be another catalyst to see where price is going. But over the weekend, not much happens on the weekend. So we just need to watch now. But in my opinion, I do think that we are bearish, and I do think that, you know, what I was hoping for is us to regain this level, for Bitcoin to regain this level over here, but Bitcoin didn't, you know, regain this level, and we are looking like we might come down to test those lows over here. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It helps out so much, and I appreciate everyone being here. Thanks again.